Yo, what up? This is Slug from Atmosphere, and when I'm not teaching your girlfriend how to play chess, I'm listening to Yo BC Raps with Nick and Doug.
For someone who's been involved in hip-hop for so long, like, which direction do you see hip-hop heading personally? And, like, maybe which direction do you want to see it heading as a movement? From your standpoint.
You know, I don't really have any wants or needs as far as where it goes, because it's, you know, hip-hop is the sum of all these little parts. Mm-hmm. I would love to see all the little parts get their lives together and you know, become progressive and productive and continue to give vegetables to the children. But as far as hip-hop as a mass movement, I have no real complaints about it. You know, it's going to do what it's going to do. You can't really contain energy. Mm-hmm. It's just going to take what it needs and do what it does. You know, it's like I look at the people in the underground and I feel like, okay, there's healthy shit going on there in there right now, because a lot of it is still very lyrical focused. You got these Odd Future kids out west creating this like real big energy movement, and the underground is getting more light than it's ever gotten. Okay. And then in the mainstream, if you look at the biggest names right now, the guys that are pretty much pop icons, it's like Kanye, Lil Wayne. These dudes are all eclectic, weirdo motherfuckers, you know? And that's a good thing, because there was a time when it wasn't like that, where it was like the top dogs were kind of just, was just Jay-Z. And nothing against him, he's a great fucking rapper, but if you got Jay-Z as the guy that everybody wants to try to be, it's gonna get a little stale, you know what I'm saying? Whereas Kanye and Lil Wayne are so fucking weird that if people are starting to try to be like them, I can't complain about that, because it's at least interesting, you know what I mean? It's at least... You know, I like the weirdo shit, and I think that's healthy. I think that Kanye, Lil Wayne, and Odd Future, those three names right now, with the attention that they get, it's a good thing for hip-hop, because I think that it's going to teach the younger kids that they can say exactly what the fuck's on their mind. Again, you know, because it was like that back in the day, and then we hit a place where you were kind of only supposed to rap about certain shit for a while there, and now it's back to like, you never know what the fuck Lil Wayne's gonna say next. You know what I mean? And same with the Odd Future kids. So it's kind of like, I personally think it's going to a very interesting place, you know. And then, I mean, I think it's healthy that you see all of the like incestuous shit, as far as people making, you know, Kanye did the shit with the Daft Punk beat, and then you got more rock getting into it, and it's not like new metal rap shit that happened, but it's like actual like musicianship going on inside of hip-hop. And you know, the fact that people are trying not to sample anymore because of all the lawsuits, I think that's a good thing, because what's going to happen is all these rich lawyer motherfuckers that own the rights to all these old funk and soul records, they're going to start to get desperate, because they're not able to sue anybody or collect money anymore, so they're going to drop their prices. So we're going to be able to go back to sampling in a few years for a much cheaper rate, just because of how, you know, we're going to go through this phase where all these guys, the money's going to dry up. It's a drought on sample clearance, and these sample owners aren't making shit, so they're going to have to start selling samples at a cheaper rate. And I'm pretty into that idea too.
What do you from speaking of like the constantly changing, evolving hip hop and where it's going, what do you see for your future for yourself? You know, moving on past this tour.
I mean, I don't really know past the tour. You know, I've never been good at seeing the future, or where you're gonna be in 5 years.
Do you have any goals, anything on your mind for what's coming next, or just?
And you know, I just want to take care of my people. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure that my homies that make music continue to have a vehicle to put their music out, and that my family has fucking health insurance. You know what I mean? It's just like, I just want to kind of take care of my people and not, I guess, you know, just always have a purpose, I guess. You know, if I ever have to go back to driving a truck, cool, but I'm still gonna desire and hunger for like a purpose. You know what I mean? I think that's the main thing that I got out of all this, was I became addicted to the purpose. You know?
Absolutely. You were saying about acting as a vehicle for your friends trying to make it hip hop. Do you have any names out there we can, like, you know, look into? Any young artists?
Oh, I mean, you know, Rhymesayers is, for us, it's just a vehicle to continue putting out music that we think is good music, struggle music for kids to hear who might be able to relate to whatever struggle that artist is talking about. And so like Greaves, who's actually on this tour with us right now, I think that the songs he's writing is resonating with a certain kind of kid who we tend to brush off Because in hip hop, you know, we look at it like, well, for starters, you should be kind of street, because that's the grassroots of this. That's where the real struggle came from. Hip hop was born out of that struggle. You know, you were talking about innovation. I consider hip hop to be music of making something out of nothing, making something beautiful out of shit. You know what I mean? And so it's like, there's a whole bunch of kids that we tend to brush off because they're suburban, or they're, you know, nowhere near the struggle that we think hip hop is supposed to be speaking to. But the truth is, these kids got struggles too. It's just a different kind of struggle. And Greaves is making this kind of universal shit that's resonating with even those kids in a way that I haven't really seen before with my friends. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm sure there's artists that do it that I just haven't been very, you know, exposed to, but for me to see somebody I know like really hitting it home like that is a pretty good thing. And then obviously Brother Ali is one of my favorite rappers ever, you know what I mean, as far as being able to like articulate struggle music. Blueprint, another guy who's on tour with us. You know, we got a new Evidence record that's coming out that's fucking probably my favorite rap record of the last 5 years or so, you know, like really good. Fucking and another POS record, who is another artist who has a way of resonating with some kids who aren't really even into hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, and to me, I think that's important. You know, there was a time when I was younger, how you were saying, when I was a purist and I was like, yo, this music ain't for you. It's not for you. It's only for us. And it's like, you know what? Nah, fuck that. This music is able to communicate to people who understand struggle, and so anybody that can understand that, I want them to be able to hear that shit. You know,
like definitely, I feel like there's like a catharsis element to, you know, hip hop. Like definitely, like I was just like thinking with like Nas and the Illmatic, like when that came out, like that was going to like little like white kids in the Midwest, or like that never like been exposed to like the urban struggle. And so like I feel that's definitely great to have like this genuine thing right now, because like that's what like got to me. Like I didn't know shit, and then like I got to the Illmatic and I started like building around that. Like it definitely it's so accessible. Even like all you need is like, you know, a beat and like a rhyme. Like you don't need instruments. It's like do you feel like, you know, rappers that just like kind of like shallow, just like trying to not do it for like, not like a genuine sense, but just like trying to make money off it? Like, do you think,
you know, everybody wants to make money off of it. Here's the thing about rappers, especially ones that are from New York or LA, there's a self-entitlement factor going on with them, and that's why a lot of times the underground will look at them like going, yo dog, you're just trying to make a buck, what, you know? But yeah, of course, I mean, you grew up poor as fuck. Why wouldn't you be trying to make a buck? And so, but don't take anything away from that self-entitlement factor, because the bottom line is, when you were born, your dad was listening to rap. You were born into rap, so by birthright you belong here. However, you got to find your own voice, and it might take you 5 years, it might take you 15 years, you know. And so I don't really get mad at any rappers anymore. It's like, you can rap about whatever the fuck you want to rap about, as far as I'm concerned, as long as you're communicating something that people can feel. As long as when I hear your voice, I don't think you're faking it, you know what I mean? It sounds like you meant what you said, you know. It's like, those are the things that I really look for, you know. I don't get me wrong, there was a time where I was like, man, if I hear another one of these motherfucking Get Money songs, I'm but now I'm kind of like, you know, that Get Money shit resonates with broke people. You know what I'm saying? There's a time and place for all that. The Black Eyed Peas, people get mad at them because of what they are. And I'm kind of like, you know, when rap first started, I wasn't there, but, you know, in my head I can envision one of them burnt out basement parties in the Bronx, where people are dancing and having a good time to forget about the fact that they can't afford their fucking light bill. The Black Eyed Peas are closer to traditional hip hop than I am then. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they're closer to traditional hip hop than most of us are, because they are just trying to make you have a good time and forget about your problems. You know what I'm saying? And that's struggle music too. It's just that their music is the kind that's supposed to make you forget about your struggles for one night and go out and party and kick it, you know. And so and it's probably age or something that's got me at a place where I'm just kind of like, you know, I'm not mad at any of these people anymore. Same with, you know, the shoot 'em up rap is important too, because there's some dude right now working at Subway sandwiches, you know, that wants to fucking kill his boss, and he's gonna go sit in his car on his lunch break and have 2 cigarettes and listen to a goddamn Lloyd Banks song and feel better, and go back inside and not have to stab his boss with a plastic spoon.